That should be us, I think.
We're cooking.
Well, we're definitely cooking. It's flipping roasting in here. These things still work in these tractors, do they?
Yeah, definitely. I can't be doing this sitting in here with loads of clothes on. I have to get my shorts on.
That's what I was going to say, but that's just an English thing. Like, you never see anybody at home wearing shorts.
Well, not even in the summer?
No.
Are you joking?
I run about in a jumper and woolly hat.
No.
The headband on.
You're playing your cards with your queen of hearts. When everyone folds, your fork still holds. You're placing your bet, showing no regret. Close your eyes to hide your lies, roll the dice. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence, letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft.
What's the crack anyway?
Well, we're just trying to drill some spring barley into some failed winter wheat.
Yes.
Pretty grim 6 months on the farm. A lot of winter crops failed. And the ones we did get drilled, like you couldn't do any follow-up sprays, or you couldn't get on early in the spring with any fungicide, fertilizer. So we're sort of still playing catch up, getting through the drilling. We've done about 1,000 acres of drilling.
And like, so what sort of cost is involved then? You've obviously set out earlier in the year, you plant this here, you took your wages, your diesel, whatever sprays, fertilizer into account. Whenever you're actually sowing a thing to start with, do you have to take these factors into account before you take your profit then, or?
Oh yeah, by the time you do your budgets on winter and spring corn, we've already, luckily this was our own seed. So we do CYO, clean your own seed.
Yep.
So luckily the seed, it wasn't bought in. So even though we've lost some of this winter wheat, and we couldn't get any autumn sprays on, so we cultivated it, planted it. But because we couldn't spray it, we're getting a lot of weed, a lot of disease in the corn. I mean, we're only just travelling on this ground now in April. We should have been out here in February putting fert on, controlling the black grass, the broadleaf weeds, and none of that's gone on. So that's why it's all yellow. And I just took the decision a couple of days ago to spray it off, start again.
Well, that was sort of my next question. How do you determine whenever a crop's failed? Because, looking at that from here, you would say that's growing pretty normally, no? Well,
it's very patchy across the field. You've got absolutely nothing here where we are. Behind us, there's this is a 25-acre field. We've probably got 5 or 6 acres that would have made it. But then you've got to come and spray 5 or 6 acres, spray the rest of the field different, and sometimes you just got the economics of running around to a separate field for 5 acres. You just as well just to spray it all off and start again.
Yes.
Then you got a nice clean start. You've only got to bring the combine here once, sprayer here once each time. It's the weed control that's the struggle, because you take a dirty crop to harvest, you'll have a dirty crop again next year.
Yep.
Whereas now we've sprayed it all off, clean start, and yeah, it's cost money, but the cultivations weren't wasted because we'd have cultivated it anyway. The only thing we're doing is drilling it twice. This'll have it's all been sprayed off with Roundup, so I haven't got to spend any money on pre-immersion spray. You don't really want to be doing that on a spring crop because the margins aren't big enough. So they'll have fertiliser on top of the seed when it's done. Hopefully, well, the plan is the spring crop will still make a margin because we haven't spent a lot on it. That's the theory.
Yes.
And sometimes, like this field, some of the fields are a tough call. Some fields are easy because they're all rubbish, or we've had a lot of flooded land. Probably had 300 acres totally flooded out because the crop's either gone or it's like that big. So it's easy to write it off. 50% rubbish, 25% borderline, 25% might have made it.
Yes.
So I just took the decision to start again on the whole field.
Cut your loss on the whole thing.
Cut the loss, start again, do it properly.
So I was going to say, I thought arable farmers got it handy. You just go out and sow it in the springtime, put your feet off for 6 months, and you come and lift it again. No.
If only it were that easy. I mean, we've had the wettest 7 months. I've had my own business for, I'm in my 31st year. This is the wettest 7 months I've ever had.
Yep.
We've had wet harvests, wet autumns and wet springs, but we've had all three in the same season.
Yes.
And like, you know, that it's not just our part of the country, it's countrywide as well.
Well, let's say 520 you're drilling in here today.
Yep.
Is a wee bit different from your usually at 520.
Yeah.
What's the thought process there? Like obviously, well, it's no secret now. Gareth and Ruth are over in the lorry.
Yeah.
She's headed back to Ireland.
Well, one of them, we had two 8520s on wheels. I have another one which is I've had for a long time. That's my one. That'll be ending up on Gareth's Forager when we get it going.
Yes.
So we had two 8520s on wheels. So we've sold the other one, and we got to the end of February and the weather was just looking worse and worse. And I just thought, you know, we've got a lot of spring drilling to do, and if I don't get the crops planted, we can't afford to have this land bare. You know, we need to be able to get it in. So I just decided we'd have a go with a track machine and see if it would help us get our spring crops in. So far, this tractor and drill's done probably 700 acres of all our spring drilling, which we wouldn't have been able to do with a wheel tractor. Tracks they're not my favourite tractor, to be honest, just because of the wear and tear, but these are definitely field tractors.
Oh, so you're not for putting the silage trailer on her then, no?
No, she'll be in the shed, and the other 85 will be out looking good for silaging time, hopefully.
So is this your first track machine then?
We had a 9000 series track about 7 or 8 years ago, which was a long wheelbase track machine. She was a 9.4, sort of 450 horse. That was our main tractor. But just moving it around, doing all the road work we do, and because it was a long wheelbase track, it really scuffed up the headlands on our heavy clay. So we ran it for a season, and then I had the chance to buy the 9.6 that we've still got, which is what I really wanted. So I let that one go. But this is the short wheelbase track, and it took some getting used to, and a bit of getting my head round. You can't just, you can just turn it on a sixpence, but you do tear up the clay.
Yeah.
So you just got to be a bit minded to just be a bit more gentle with it when you're turning.
Other than that, happy enough with her?
Very pleased with it so far. We were running a Claydon hybrid drill as well as a tine drill, but we changed that for this weaving sabre tine. It's just a bit more versatile, and so far I've been very pleased with this, because we normally drill with either combination drills or 2-horse sprinters, a 6 and an 8 metre. But of course when it's wet like this, you don't want a drill running rubber tyre packers.
Gareth and Ruth are way back with your tractor.
Yep.
They also brought our harvester over.
Yeah, it seems to be staying this time.
She's not going back this time.
No, Gareth needed it back to do your second cut of the barn last year, so. But yeah, we've come to an agreement, and I think it should be staying in England this time.
Yes.
So
you must have been impressed with her then.
Yeah, I liked it. She did a good job of chopping the AD grass, and we picked up a bit more work. We've got about 700 acres of grass to do. So yeah, it'll do me well for a few years. We're going to run that on the 8520.
So your 8520 this way back to Ireland.
Yep.
Had you advertised her for sale, or did Barry approach you about buying her?
I wasn't going to sell her until we just saw how we were going to get on with this. But when we'd had it a few weeks and it was doing the job and it was doing what I wanted it to do, I just happened to mention to Gareth that I'd got it, and he said, a friend of mine might be interested in that. If you do want to sell the 8520 on wheels. So I said, well, mention it to Barry. So Barry rang me up. I sent him some photos, and it was just what he was looking for. I know he's got a lovely 7920, and he was on for an 85 for doing a bit of land work and subsoiling. I said, well, just see how we get on with this, and then I just decided we'd keep this for run this for the autumn season. So I really needed to sell one to justify the spending.
She pulled the short straw then.
So that one drew the short straw. Yeah, I was never going to sell mine, so we had to sell the other one.
I didn't think Barry was a John Deere man.
He's a closet John Deere man. Because he loves his 7920. I know he's got some vouchers that are on the contracting side.
Yeah.
He's definitely a JD man at heart.
I don't know if I can put that in the cut or not. I may get sued.
I'll just tell him I said so.
You still a fan of the older kit then, anyway?
Yeah, I like my older tractors. I like just running a system like ours where you buy second-hand stuff. Like this year, I've just decided we needed to change and go and buy something extra, different. I can do that at a drop of a hat. Whereas you can't, buying an 8RX is that's a 5 or 10 year decision.
Yes.
You can't just chop and change like I would.
I suppose the likes of this here, you bought it to do a job this year, but if you don't need it next year, you can go again.
I'll sell it and change it for something that I do want or do need. We do have a lot of kit coming and going. I've got my core tractors that I'll never sell.
Yes.
But if we need an extra or something different, I'll just, we have got the ability to sell something and go and change it.
Well, there was a bit of a demonstration going at your place the last couple of days with the Ag Seed.
Yes.
Some sort of ag robot anyway.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on her? You were there whenever we all got the sale pitch at the same time.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
You're the man with the checkbook. Would you buy one?
For general farming...
It's alright, he's not listening.
No, I know that. Look, for general agriculture in Oxfordshire, 300 grand for a tractor like that isn't justifiable. But it was very impressive what it could do. I think there's a place for it. And some of this repetitive work, veg work. And he was telling me about a guy that grows blackberries, mowing the grass in between orchards and fruit and vegetables. I think there's a lot of scope for that sort of thing. I know Pete was quite keen to come back in the autumn and do a bit of a drilling challenge with me. Yeah. Which I'd be well up for that, because that'll be a good sport. I think its downfall for arable farming is the fact that their biggest one at the minute is 160 horsepower.
You think it's too light then? It's not strong enough?
I think they're going to struggle with anything PTO driven, because that just needs, like a combination drill just wants raw power. Yep. I think that'll hold them back in agriculture. But we had it running on our little 4.5 metre Vibraflex, just pulling up some very wet land. It travelled really well on the tracks. It took quite a long time for him to set up. I know you've only got to do that once. Yes. That would be, for a dinosaur technophobe like me, that would be easy. Yeah, I think in general farming, at that sort of price tag, I think they're going to struggle. Yeah. But what it could do for a little tractor was very impressive. The thing that sort of throws me off a bit is, especially in the arable world, if you're out ploughing, you get a stone stuck, a moldboard. Yeah. Like this here, you would get blockage and the machine just ploughs on. Well, you don't really know until it's too late that the damage is done. We were talking about this morning, because if we were both combination drilling in variable conditions, you're going to get a wet patch, you're going to get block coulters, you're going to get split seed pipes, you've got to put the seed in every 2.5 hectares. My observation was, in difficult conditions, you've still got to be there. So I think, on that sort of job, I think it would be great, but I do think they're going to struggle. Like conditions like this, I've just had to drill around a wet patch. Yeah. I didn't know how big that was going to be until I get out here. Yes. And actually look and walk it for myself. And if you're going to do that, you might as well drive the tractor that's on it. That's the thing. So I think they've come a long way, but I still think there's a long way to go. And I think you need some very constant ground and constant fields. These seasons that we're having, just this field, it's only 25 acres. We've probably got 3 different soil types. Yeah. We've got floods there, bare ground here, soft ground at the top of the bank there. It's very difficult to program into a robot. You just need to be out there feeling what it's doing. And that's the thing, I can only work off what is programmed. There's no initiative with a robot. No, it can't just look or feel for itself. I think, that may come. I don't know how far on they are with the technology, but some of the applications that they have been doing with it seem to be getting on really well. Yep. But general farming... But is there a future for it? Do you see the technology ever coming for it to be it's not the sort of thing you're going to throw in a diet feeder and leave to feed your beast? No. Well, you might, I don't know. Look, I think so in the future. How long that'll be, I don't know. It didn't sound as nice as our 7710 that was working there, I have to say. No, it didn't, no. I thought I was saying to them boys earlier on, do you know the best thing about that tractor? Is the new hauling weights hanging in the front of her. That's a throwback to when I had five Super Kia Fords on the farm. Is that the good old days? Well, in lots of ways, yeah, because I think we all had a lot more fun in the job then. The 8770 certainly turned us green, that's a sure fact. That one hasn't stopped since I've been in here. I know. Some days I could throw it out the window and put it under the track, but.
So I sort of assumed you had the GPS in that tractor because you'll be going up the road playing Snake on the phone now.
No, I save that for the evening. I know everybody takes the mick out of my Nokia, but it'll always ring and there's loads of battery, so I'm happy.
Plus you can clobber them on with it too.
Yeah, I can throw it at people when I need to, yeah. And if I do lose my rag and fling it across the field, it normally switches back on again.
So Dougie, we found a dry weekend.
Yeah, yeah. About time.
Yeah. What are we at today?
We're out vibroflexing some ground that's already been disked in the autumn. We're in Ollie Blogg's old John Deere 7710 that we bought not that long ago, after Christmas maybe.
Oh, so it's only a recent buy then?
Yeah, most recent. This is my sister's tractor.
Okay, but there's another 7710 that's...
There is, yeah. That's GRASSMEN's old one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've claimed that one. I claimed that one when I was about 6. As soon as I knew it was GRASSMEN's, I was like, I want that one.
You want that one?
Yeah.
And it's, it doesn't look the same as this one right now.
No, it's been in Moco fabrication, a full respray in the winter. I put a light bar from AD Light Bars and heat shields. The heat shield on it also came from AD Light Bars and heat shields in Yorkshire. He's really good. Matte mirror guards from Agri Guards. All sorts of it.
Is there anything left you can do to it?
Apart from some bigger tyres, no.
No. I'd say you spent some pocket money on that now.
Yeah.
So what age are you now?
I'm 14.
You're not long past your tractor test. There's a tractor test for over 16s, and then is there one for...
There's another one for 13 and over.
Okay.
And that's just to be on the insurance, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
For that, I had to do... He came up to the yard, our home base. I had to hitch on a trailer, reverse it around the yard, drive around with nothing on, hitch up onto this cultivator, plug all the pipes in, unfold it, fold it, unplug all the pipes safely, and then take it off safely, take the trailer off, and then, yeah.
You probably know more than me then.
Yeah.
So are you happy to be back out working the ground?
Yeah, very. We're really doing a lot for a while, just sat in the workshop, putting lights on things and fiddling and...
Bit of washing too, maybe?
Yeah, a bit of washing.
So then is the 7710, would it be your favourite tractor then? Or...
Yeah, but there's another one that is one of my favourites as well, and that's the 8210. We bought can't really remember, it was quite a while ago, but yeah, she's just lush.
Just mint, like?
She is just, yeah, proper classic.
So what do you think of the modern stuff? Is it any use, or...?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's alright.
It's alright?
But yeah, can't get the noise out of one of these, you can one of them.
No, definitely not. No. Have you done much with the GPS at all, or...?
I've done a little bit. I did a bit of rolling. I couldn't really see where I was going at all, so that was on some grass seed that was in the scheme. Did a bit of topping with one, just because it was there, and I thought, well, I'll use it. So
yeah,
it was alright, but it's better off using it for like drilling and things that need it really.
Tell me you were spreading a lot of digestate at the minute too?
Yeah, we've got about 20,000 tonne going on this spring. Jackson Pumping do that for us. They got a umbilical with a 24 metre booms. Really good job that is. So we've got storage towers on 4 of the farms. Our local AD company bring it in, pump it in there, and then Sam and Rob pump it out of the towers.
Just a direct pump job.
Direct pump, yeah. They can pump sort of just over 2 kilometres. Yeah, I like the digestate. It's all, you know, it's proper organic fertiliser. Does the crops really, really well, especially the winter crops. Going to try it on some spring wheat this time because we're going to try and push the spring wheat for.
It's a bit like rocket fuel, they'll digest it. You know, it is just like putting Red Bull onto a blade of grass.
Pumped with sugar. Yeah, no, it does the corn good. Because it's already in liquid form, and within 7 days, you know, you can see a change in the crop.
Yep.
Which is really good, especially in a late season like this. The ground's still cold. Soil temperatures aren't rising as quickly as they normally would, just because they're so wet. So yeah, it does give the crops in the spring a real good kick. I've been using it 3-4 years now. We use a mixture of that and compost for organic matter.
Yes. Oh, that's your compost pile up beside where the sewer was earlier?
Yep, that's it. So that comes in over winter, and then we spread the compost in the autumn.
And what's the sort of nutritional value of compost?
There's a small amount of nitrogen in it, which means it doesn't use up the nitrogen in the soil to rot it down. But there's phosphate, potash, a little bit of magnesium, but mainly it's the organic matter. And the high organic matter holds on to more nutrients naturally.
Yes.
So where we've been using it for several years, what we find is that we're not seeing the P and K levels in the soil dropping like we used to, because obviously we're all arable. We're trying to use as much organic fertiliser as we can and cut down on ammonium nitrate and urea.
So it's like a longer acting thing, a slow release kind of thing.
Yeah,
then.
it's not a quick fix.
Yes.
You know, we're trying to build organic matter levels in the soil. Obviously, without grass in the rotation, it's very difficult to build organic matter just through straw alone. The straw uses up quite a lot of nutrients just to rot down.
So obviously the weather hasn't been great. There's a bit of a financial crisis around the country at the minute. What is the sort of, not the vibe, but what is the thoughts of people in the area?
I've never known, you know, my friends in farming, whether they're farmers, contractors, tractor drivers, farm workers in general, I've never known everybody so down as they are at the minute. There's so much negativity in farming. It was a hard autumn, harvest wasn't great last year. Things going forward, you know, are very uncertain. We seem to have got the government that are just interested in us planting flowers, and, you know, they don't seem to be bothered about food security, which I think is a big worry for all the grain farming, the livestock farming. That worries me for the future, because we're already looking at 2.5 million tonne deficit of wheat in the UK that'll have to be imported. We don't want to be relying on imports. You know, you've got foreign meat coming in that isn't farm assured. The NFU just seems to have made a hash of red tractor, got a lot of bad publicity. But over and above all of that, every farmer I know is just struggling. We've had a real crap 7 month. You know, even on our own farm, personally, the autumn was real tough. Wet winter, late getting going. We just worked 4 weekends on the bounce, which is nothing out of the ordinary, but we wouldn't normally be doing that, because, you know, when it's wet day after wet day, and then you have to try and motivate yourself to work. As you know, even Easter Sunday I was working all day. We were drilling, the lads were spraying. It's just taken its toll on everybody this year. I just think that this might be a time for everybody in farming just to try and look out for each other and perhaps pull together a bit more. You know, just on our own farm, it's been a real slog this winter, and I get up every day thinking about farming and tractors and growing corn, and it's been hard some days to motivate myself, let alone the boys.
Yeah.
You know, when they come to work, I've got some great lads that work for me, Martin and Christian, and, you know, some really good part-time lads, and Doogie is still, you know, mad for the farming. And, you know, there's been times, especially in the last 3 months, where I've just wondered if I'm actually doing the right thing, trying to keep it all going for him. He might be better off doing something else. Try and give him a chance if I can, but nothing's for certain. And I think that's what's affecting people, that there's no certainty in this job. And that is a worry for us, as, you know, I've got a small rented farm, and all our business relies on landlords that want to keep farming. But it's very difficult to guarantee them the income that people need at the moment. You know, it's the same for the livestock farmers. I mean, the beef trade's good at the minute, but their feed costs are, you know, they don't seem to have come down much, and it's just hitting everybody at the minute. It's a worry for me. I don't tend to worry too much about. I always thought farming would be here forever, but in this country it does worry me that people aren't taking food security seriously. But I don't know how to change that. I'm only one person trying to look outside the box, but I don't see how we can improve that at the minute.
But times are tough at the minute, and I think that's especially the likes of yourself or other arable men, you're out here in a tractor all day, every day, by yourself. You know, as you said before, you could go 2 or 3 days without seeing another man.
Yeah.
You know, you're stuck in this cab with your own thoughts the whole day.
Yeah.
And it's important to realise that everybody is in the same boat too. Like, as you say, the livestock men, like I have friends at home, and they're coming in, like the weather's atrocious at home, they're lambing sheep outside, they're lifting dead lambs every single day, and they're coming to me on a Friday evening in the pub thinking, am I doing this wrong? You know, is this my fault?
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's important for everybody to stick together, especially through the hard times.
Yeah.
In agriculture, a lot of boys are very quick to bring their neighbour down, or, oh, look at the way him, or look at the way he's doing this, but people do actually need to come together and stick up for each other.
There's less and less of us working on these farms. I mean, there's only 3 of us here full time now,
Yeah.
on 4,000 acres, and it is tough. And the livestock men, I mean, my neighbour, you know, they're looking after sort of 700 sheep, 300-400 cattle, and he's pretty much doing it on his own. I don't know how to bring everybody together, but I just think everybody needs to think about it a bit more.
But hard times pass too.
Yeah, they do.
Whenever I first got into the sheep, my old boy told me, he says, you're going to have plenty of good days at this, but you're going to have plenty of bad days. If you can go to your bed at night knowing you've done everything you possibly could, there's nothing more you can do.
And that's another thing hard to take, that when things are out of your control,
Yeah.
no matter what you do, you can't make it better or fix it. I find that hard to deal with because I always want to fix everything.
Yeah.
Something's wrong, I want it right. Someone's in trouble, or you want to try and help them, but you can't always. You know, I want to fix the flooded crops and make them better, but you can't always.
Well, you can, but you know, if you look out here at the minute, that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, we're trying. Yeah, we're very trying.
It is quite a nice job. You're sitting here, well, I know it's a John Deere, but like you're in a half comfy seat. You know, the sun's shining, there's a bit of greenery, there's blue skies, you know. What would you really be doing if you weren't doing this?
There's worse places to be.
No.
There is, I mean, when things are good, there's no job like it. Good days are getting a bit less, but when they are good, it's real good.
You're playing your cards with your queen of hearts. When everyone folds, your fork still holds. You're placing your bet, showing no regret. Close your eyes to hide your lies, roll the dice. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. You're playing it cool, bending all the rules, talking way too loud, and you're talking rude. You're